Hi, Movies Epitome right here. Today, I am going to give an explanation for an American technology fiction horror movie called Village of the Damned. Spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care. Midwich, California is a quiet coastal metropolis that is not anything precise approximately until one day, an extraordinary phenomenon occurs. Everyone were getting ready for taking part in their annual festival. But when it's 10 a.m. at this very moment, every person inside the metropolis falls asleep, such as birds and animals. Some lie subconscious of their homes at the same time as others inside the center of the road. A guy named Mike is driving away from the city at the same time. When he is ready to go the border, he too falls asleep, inflicting his vehicle to crash and explode. Soon, the incident catches the eye of the human beings from the neighboring city. Police and forensic doctors come to analyze, however, every person who crosses the border falls asleep instantly. After a few studies, they locate the city is hooked up to no nuclear or chemical plant that could have triggered a chemical leak. This method that something is occurring to the city is beyond human knowledge. One of the medical doctors investigating the scene is Alan. He is likewise a resident of the city and is concerned due to the fact his spouse Barbara isn't always answering his calls. Hours pass and at precisely 4 p.m., every person wakes up simultaneously. Alan rushes to Barbara and asks her what took place, however she is as pressured as the whole city. The city's college principal Jill turns out to be Mike's spouse. Upon locating out about his loss of life, she is heartbroken. No scientist or truth seeker is ready to inform what triggered the city to sleep and wake up. With no clarification observed, lifestyles run generally in Midwich. People neglect about the incident and move on about their lives for the following couple of weeks. Then, Alan notices many pregnancies occurring inside the city. A girl named Kelly, who hasn't been with all of us for over 12 months, receives pregnancy. Alongside her, Principal Jill and Alan's spouse Barbara also are pregnant. In only a week, each unmarried girl inside the metropolis is expecting, and all of them date from the day of the blackout. An epidemiologist running for the federal authorities named Susan is dispatched to the metropolis to analyze the pregnancies. She gives them $3,000 consistent with own circle of relatives from the authorities facet in the event that they determine to hold the infant. Most individuals who had been ready to abort the fetuses conform to hold them after mastering about the money. Months pass inside the blink of an eye fixed, and all of the ladies move into exertions on an equal day. They give birth to faded, skinned and silver-haired infants who seem like they may be siblings. 5 boys and 4 ladies have such capabilities are born, however one in all of them is stillborn. We see Dr. Susan deliver the useless infant to her vehicle. She takes it away to a lab to carry out experiments and optimistically discover the real nature of the toddlers. For the primary few months, the entirety is going every day for the reason that toddlers aren't advanced sufficient to interact. But quickly, Jill notices her son David turning greater clever with time. When he begins evolve to crawl, he may even spell his name. Barbara and Alan have additionally observed their daughter Mara's extraordinary conduct. They forget about it for the maximum component, however one day, Barbara sees Mara's eyes glow. The little lady hypnotizes her mom and makes her dip her arm into boiling water. Barbara is stored whilst Jill arrives on the residence. However, the incident by no means leaves her thoughts. She begins evolved being frightened of her daughter a lot in order that her mind move into a totally darkish place. Hence, one day, she is going to the cliff close to their residence and commits the unthinkable. Alan is heartbroken with the aid of using his spouse's loss of life. He is aware of that Mara needed to do something with the loss of life, however he refuses to speak approximately it to all of us. Meanwhile, Dr. Susan has been watching the kids intently ever on account that their births. She and the human beings from the authorities' studies application are in a meeting. They talk the adjustments inside the conduct of the kids and are available to avend that the growing injuries and deaths is probably associated with them. They have additionally located that Alan's daughter Mara is the leader. They anticipate she will be able to study a human being's mind and acts consistent with it, however, are but to show the theory. Alan has lengthy misplaced hobby inside the study's application, now no longer looking to recognize the fact approximately his daughter. However, Dr. Susan thinks he may be an asset to the test and desires to deliver him again. A few greater years Biscup and the kids develop up. Even at 5 years old, they may be greater clever than maximum adults. They usually stroll in a line, paired up with their associate. Besides for David, whose associate died at beginning. People have a take of observe them in the road and recognize that they may be now no longer everyday, however nobody is courageous sufficient to go their paths. One day, Mara attempts analyzing Dr. Susan's thoughts and figures out that she has observed a manner to damn her mind. The kids determine to live privy to her after that. They ought to undergo month-to-month fitness checkups to make certain not anything extensive has modified of their bodies. In one of these checkups, a physician by accident hurts a lady's eye. As a result, Mara hypnotizes her and makes her pour dangerous chemical substances into her personal eyes. This reasons the physician to be rushed to the hospital. She does now no longer recall what took place to her, however her eyes are as exact as blind after the incident. Although there may be no proof, every person inside the metropolis is aware of it become the youngsters. Jill is concerned approximately her son, however she can't permit the deaths and injuries slide away. Hence, she shows that Alan trained the unique kids far from the relaxation of the kids of their elegance. Alan thinks there may be not anything he can train them, however Jill argues that they've to research humanity. After the conversation, Alan walks to his daughter and holds his hand out for her. However, Mara absolutely walks away. She doesn't have an ounces of compassion in her, which Alan refuses to acknowledge. At night, Jill attempts brushing David's hair, however he doesn't permit her. He claims that there may be no want for her to be emotionally invested in him due to the fact feelings are useless. He reads her thoughts and reveals her considering her past due husband. The mom and son resonate with every different due to the fact David too misplaced his associate at beginning. Looking deep into his mom's mind, he reveals out approximately the phrase empathy and its meaning. The following day, Mara and the organization are taking walks in line as usually. Suddenly, David does something that nobody from the organization has ever dared to do. He walks away without Mara's permission. Mara thinks it's far extraordinary, however doesn't forestall him this time. David is going to the cemetery to search for his associate's grave. There, he reveals the girl who had misplaced the toddler at beginning. She hates all of the unique kids due to the fact they remind her of the kid she misplaced. She suggest matters to David, however he appears into her mind and feels empathy for the primary time. Later, he additionally meets Alan, who's there to go to Barbara's grave. David famous that he's right here to go to his associate, which surprises Alan due to the fact David become by no means instructed approximately the stillborn. As they chat, the child reveals out that Alan has additionally misplaced a person vital to him. He holds Alan's hand, performing on his emotional urges. This offers Alan wish that unique kids can alternate, if taught to have feelings. He is of the same opinion to be their instructor and arranges their first elegance the following day. While analyzing anatomy, the kids again and again say the eyes are the window to a person's soul. Alan explains that they must look at that during philosophy, however the youngsters stay adamant approximately the answer. He is likewise amazed with the aid of using the synchronization amongst them, whilst taking books out or placing them again. At the same time as later, the youngsters are by myself, whilst under the influence of alcohol janitor comes into the study room and threatens to kill them. They chorus from hurting him for a while, however as quickly as he touches one of the youngsters, all their eyes begin to glow. The guy is then made to climb a ladder and bounce onto a vehicle. The stick he become preserving stabs him with inside the chest, inflicting him to die immediately. The subsequent day, Alan is going to Susan and asks her what development she has made in her studies. Susan famous that their metropolis isn't the handiest one going via the equal situation. In fact, numerous small villages around the world have had blackouts and pregnancies following the backout. She then brings Alan to a mystery room and suggests him the little one that becomes stolen a long term ago. The experiments completed at the toddler have introduced out its unique shape that is of an extraordinary alien creature. After the meeting, Alan returns domestic and reveals Mara packing her belongings. She and the unique youngsters need to live in a barn far from the metropolis. She orders Alan to deliver resources for them and doesn't care to give an explanation for further. All dad and mom reluctantly deliver their kids to the barn, frightened of what is going to take place in the event that they refuse. The following day, a person named Bill involves the barn to fulfill his daughter. He claims that he has the proper to take her again, however the unique kids do now no longer like it. When he refuses to go away them by myself, they hypnotize him and make him crash his automobile into a gasoline tank. At the equal time, Susan involves Alan and Famous that the authorities is making plans to bomb the whole metropolis to cast off the youngsters. She is walking away and so must Alan. Alan fast is going to the kids and asks them to stay in harmony. If now no longer, they may be killed. However, Mara publicizes that feelings are for the weak. Instead, she asks him to deliver every person a deliver container which they may use to transport some distance far from the metropolis. At the same time as later, Mara stops David and asks him approximately his extraordinary conduct. Before David can give an explanation for himself, the metropolis pastor is stuck with inside the bushes, pointing his gun at Mara. The youngsters kill him as well. When it receives darkish, the kids locate Dr. Susan with inside the clinic's hallway. This time, her mask slips and the organization reveals out she is the only who stole the stillborn. They take her to the name of the game lab and make her stab herself. Meanwhile, the whole metropolis gathers outdoor the barn to smash it and retaliate in opposition to the unique kids. But the kids assault the protesters and kill all of them in no time. A girl is burned to loss of life after being hypnotized. Alan and Jill meet every different and determine that it's far approximately time the kids die due to the fact, if now no longer, others will. Alan doesn't need to place Jill's existence in danger, so he runs away after locking her interior a room. He enters the barn with a container of explosives. The kids are actually geared up to transport, however one element leaves Mara uncomfortable. She can't study Alan's mind due to the fact he's blockading them with the aid of using a wall. At the equal time, Jill arrives behind the room and attempts to take David away. The kids spot her, however they can't awareness on human beings on the equal time. Mara attempts her first class to discover what's at the back of Alan's mind wall. Just whilst she sees the explosives, the imaginative and prescient will become fact and kills every person different than David and Jill. In the closing scene, we see David and Jill using a way to a one-of-a-kind town. Jill is hopeful that they could begin a brand new existence, leaving Midwich at the back of. Subscribe for greater movies like this, switch on the notification, and go away. I want to help the channel out. Thank you for watching.